Okay, hello once again. This is Evangelist Stell, and I'm coming to you with the fourth segment of anger management. And this section right here is we're going to talk about and expound on 4 steps to healing repressed anger. Repressed anger. Okay. In the clinician field, mental clinician field, there are 13 defense mechanisms that was discovered or founded upon by Sigmund Freud, which was a famous psychoanalyst, and one of them was repression. Now, you gotta understand about repression. Repression it's like a sneaky booger, but there is healing in there. But remember, I said healing. So healing means that ing is telling me that there's going to be always a process where I need to go ahead and check myself and continue to walk in that healing. Okay, it's almost like being diabetic. Yes, being diabetic, you can be healed from diabetes, but there are self-help that you can be able to, even after you're healed and you recognize the knowledge of what happens with diabetes, you still have to maintain a whole new healthy lifestyle so that it won't creep back up on you and try and take you out. So the thing is, there are four small steps to healing repressed anger. So repression. Let me give you a definition of repression. Repression is the act of not allowing a memory, feeling, or desire to be expressed. A mental process by which distressing thoughts, memories, or impulses that may give rise to anxiety are excluded from consciousness and left to operate in the unconscious. Let me repeat that. That's a long definition. Repression is the act of not allowing a memory, feeling, or desire to be expressed. A mental process, there the word process go again, by which distressing thoughts, memories, or impulses that may give rise to anxiety are excluded from consciousness and left to operate in the unconscious. So when we think that we're not thinking about it a lot, and I have repressed feelings inside of me, let's say from anger, some angry stuff that happened to me a long time ago. See, I have the ability to block that memory out and for it not to be expressed. It's a mental process, and you can look at it as a survival technique. But the thing about this here is, what's so dangerous about it is that at the end of this definition, it says that it is excluded from consciousness and left to operate in the unconscious, like knowingly and unknowingly doing something. So if there's something left in the unconscious area, we don't know when that could pop up and take over and take control of us. We don't know when. It can come at any minute, any moment. So that's why consciously it's best to try to take care of things right now. And even biblically it states that be not angry. It said, be ye angry and sin not. And it says to agree with our adversary in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's saying that I need to take care of this and resolve this matter right now, instead of holding it and to be in my unconscious state of my mind. And guess what? Then it has control of me. Remember, anger. Some people are angry and choose to stay angry because mainly anger is, as I said in the chapters before, the segments before, that anger is a power waiting to be directed. And all it needs is a direction. It can be directed in being angry at something to a positive thing, or I can let it set and manifest and fester up into something negative. So now I have to tell myself, okay, I got some stuff in my unconscious. I don't know why I get mad all the time. I don't know why. And now everybody knows I have this identity of being angry. Even when I'm not angry, but something might trigger something off, and guess what? It taps into that repression back there of unhealed hurts, or unmet needs, or unfulfilled expectations, and literally into unresolved anger. So that is so dangerous to allow repression to sit inside of me. Like I said, this process, the same process that it had to get built down, is going to take knowledge to break that process down, to get that anger, to tag a hold of the bitterness and that root of that anger and get it up out of there. And guess what? If you've been an angry person all your life, it is going to miss being angry inside of you. And so I have to tell that anger that you are no longer still in control of me. I am going to live my life in peace. I'm going to tell that wrath and that rage that it's not going to take over me no more. I know that I have been angry such a long time that I have an identity behind it, because I did not have nothing else to hold on to but my anger, and everybody respected my angriness and expected me being wrathful and, as quote unquote, as they say, going off. Everybody respected me of that. It might not have been the right respect, but guess what? I got some respect, which is still dangerous, because the anger is just sitting up in there that's being directed in the wrong way, and that rage, which is uncontrolled, violent anger, is having its way in your body, taking hold of your life, taking hold of your family, taking hold of your future. But oh, there's hope today. Remember I said sometimes we can't identify this stuff. We need our higher power to help us identify this stuff. My higher power, Jesus Christ, has identified a lot of things inside of me. And it's one I've had repression of anger inside of me. But we're going to go through these steps of healing this here. Number one is I have to recognize the cycle. Anger comes in cycles. Anger comes in cycles that has not been healed yet. It's a cycle to it. You don't even have to be angry. Somebody will do something to you, and all of a sudden you can become angry, especially, and that's no problem there when you get angry. Because it's a power way to be directed. But if I don't have no direction in learning how to direct it, I'm going to direct it into a negative way. Recognize. Verb word. I have to recognize. Recognize means to acknowledge that, hey, man, this thing has been doing. Wait a minute. Here we go again. I can feel it coming up. I don't need to give into it. I have to recognize what it is that ticks me off, as they say. And then as I do that, as soon as I recognize that it's a cycle, I'm good. Because as long as I'm not knowing, then I can be following in that same cycle instead of just saying, okay, that's my way of life. And use the greatest excuse of all time that we always use is, that's just who I am. Woo. Once you get to a point of using that excuse, especially dealing with anger and wrath and with wrath and rage, and say that's who I am, you have officially linked your identity as being an angry man. And anyone out there with common sense is not going to want that has some type of value in life, have a value system in life, want to hold on to things and want to maintain and want to get somewhere in life. They're going to have enough common sense not to want to hang around you. But the anger will be so into me, I could be so consumed in it that I could get so prideful and say, guess what? They just weaker than me. And so guess what? I didn't need to be around them no how, because they wasn't strong up to my level, when really what they were using was common sense not to hang around you, because they have enough sense to know that the same way as it rubbed off on you, you went through the process, it can rub off on them. So recognize the cycle. That's number one. Number two, I have to, since I've recognized it, number two is this here. Intercept with positive self-talk. Anytime you're being filled with angry thoughts and anger stuff that go on in you, there is a language that's going on. There is a conversation that's going on in your mind. And 9 times out of 10, that conversation, when it's turning to rage, is always negative. So it's going to be negative stuff. Negative thoughts coming your way. Negative connotations, negative words in your mind. Cursing, swearing, acting crazy. Wanting pictures of you going all the way off, or you just nobody handling you. And that right there, the only way you're going to be able to do that is intercept it with positive self-talk. So if there's positive self-talk, I have to combat that negative self-talk with positive self-talk. What is positive self-talk? Telling myself, it is going to get better. This ain't the end. Or what I do, I say scripturally out of Romans 8:28, that all things working together for the good. To them that love God and called according to his purpose. It's bad right now, but it is going to work together for the good. It's going to take some patience for me to get over this feeling that's rising, this hair rising up on my back. But if I hold on, it's going to wear down. I need to get to the point of wearing it down versus the anger and the wrath and the malice and all of that strife and the rage wearing me out. Wear it down before it wears you out. So, intercept. Now, in any kind of football game or any kind of basketball game they call it stealing the ball. He's stealing. In football, they call it interception when you take the ball from the other man and you're on defense. So you got this offensive part of you coming out wanting you to take the bait and be uncontrolled and violent. And you have to work defensively and say, wait a minute, I got to intercept this. How am I going to intercept this? I'm going to intercept it with positive self-talk. I'm going to talk to myself positive, be around positive people, combat it. Because my will wants to fight against that feeling. Make your will is always stronger than your feelings. It might take a few more seconds and it take a little bit of time for it to settle in. But if you fight the good fight of faith, it will settle in and will take over. Because why? You're strong. And you're strong in him. So right here, intercept with positive self-talk. So intercepting meaning, there are some great interceptors of all time in football. I remember Everson Walls when he played for the Cowboys. I remember, everybody remember Deion Sanders, great defensive player that intercepted ball. They were terrified of him because he was a great interceptor. And there's a lot more that I can't name off my head. But the thing about this is, the reason they were great interceptors was because the way they attacked the person. They attacked, not in a negative way, they attacked the ball. They came at the ball. The game is about the ball, not the individual. The individual will be another individual that don't know how to handle the ball. So if you get the ball in your court, you can be able to take care of everything. Everything else will follow suit. But they were good because they mounted up, they posted up, and they attacked that ball in that situation aggressively. They took the ball out the air and put it in their hand, and they ran with it aggressively. They didn't go over there sissy-footing and trying to cover a man and falling and stumbling or not have a made-up mind. See, you have to have a made-up mind that you're going to intercept this ball. If they have a made-up mind that they're going to intercept that pass, you have to have a made-up mind to intercept that negative self-talk aggressively, not timidly, because that anger and that wrath and that strife and all of that there is not coming to you timidly. You got to combat it as hard as it's trying to combat and take you. You got to get to the point of hating anger. Hating what it does to you. Hating what it done to you. You got to hate it just as much as it hates you. Because when you do that, you leave no room for excuses. You leave no room for blame. You leave no room to say, well, I still got a little bit. No, because when you hate something for real, you're going to set up a defense for it not to be around you. So how bad do you hate your anger problem, your rage? How bad do you hate it is the question. So intercept it with positive self-talk. Intercept it strongly, not timidly. Because when you do it strongly, you are making a statement that I'm about to get over this. My identity is fixing to change. People not going to know this new me that's not tearing up stuff, that's not throwing dishes all around the house, that's not cussing out everybody that come in my path. They're going to know a new me. And I'm not going to do it for them. I'm going to do it for me. So that is a good way to give yourself a gift. Forgiveness, as I said in the second episode, forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. Make conquering anger directed in the wrong path and rage. Make conquering it a gift to yourself. All right. So number 3 is develop a plan. The key word in that, develop. To develop something means I have to put it together. I have to put it together. I have to counterattack this. Intercepting is a way to do it. But now I have to put it into a development stage to the point, like I'm building a project to tear down these twin towers of anger that I got up here in this government system up on my shoulders. So now I developed me a plan. What kind of plan is that? What kind of positive words can I say to myself when I get angry? What kind of way can I respond to it? Instead of it making me go all the way, I can develop me a plan. I can use scriptures out the Bible. I can pray. I can walk off as soon as I feel my insides and my stomach, feel the butterflies start fluttering in my stomach. Or when I can feel that it's getting so heavy on me that I can't see straight. Sometimes developing a plan of just running and getting away from the situation is a plan. Because the other plans that I've done have not worked yet. So I developed me a plan. So I said number 1 was recognize the cycle. Intercept with positive self-talk is number 2. Number 3 is develop me a plan. You better be in development of a plan, because guess what? If you, they say, there's a saying that say that if you don't plan, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Simple as that. So I have to get to a point, I have to develop this plan, because what? I plan to win this one. I sure do. Now remember, anger management is this here. It's not saying it's going to heal you of every piece of weight or anger that's going to get you, but it's going to get you to a point of controlling it better so that it don't take over you, so it don't engulf itself around you. You can never get rid of anger all the way, because it's an emotion that comes. Sometimes it's righteously. You got a right to be angry about something, so it's not going to leave. But when it to the point of where it costs you something, that's where the management comes in. Learning how to manage that anger. So I don't want you to go into this thing thinking that, man, I messed up, and going to perfection and thinking, dang, I messed up. Hey, you know what? Practice make perfect. There's a trial and error basis in dealing with this anger over the years that I've had. I've had a lot of trial and error, but in the end, I've learned. I've learned from my mistake. I've learned that I'm getting older. I learned I can't be getting mad like I'm a teenager no more and just and shutting everybody down and say what the blank and just. I've learned that there's over that hump of anger that there is the promised land. So please, whatever you do, develop you a plan. Very important that you develop a plan. And as you develop that plan, and you keep working it, and you keep working it, and you keep working it, put it into action, you will see that, man, you'll make anger that was so big look like it was big. Instead of magnifying the problem, you'll see that it's so small. So then after that, after I done developed the plan, guess what my next step is? Not big, do it again. Number 4 is do it again. Do what again? Practice. Practice what you preach. Practice. Make it early morning when you get up, look in the mirror and say, guess what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to recognize this cycle. I'm going to intercept this stuff with positive self-talk. And I'm going to develop me a plan. And in that plan, guess what? I'm going to do it again until I get better. I'm going to do it again until I get to a point to where I could feel it come naturally. To where as it comes, guess what? My defense system is built up so strong that I can recognize it coming from a mile away. And guess what? It's not going to catch me off guard. It's not going to throw me in the dungeon of despair and my feelings, being led by my feelings. I heard one preacher say it one time. He said, if we can only get over the feelings game, we could be able to accomplish so much in life. We got to get over these games of feelings taking us. That's why even in biblical talking scriptures, it says we walk by faith, because our feelings can go up and they can be down the next. And when you're trying to keep up with stuff that go up and down, I don't know if any of y'all been in some up and down situations, but I tell you what, you cannot tell me that you didn't get dizzy sometimes. Because that's what up and down do. That's what seesaws do. They go up and they go down. They go up and they go down. And us grown folks don't like to go up and down. Only kids like to get on them seesaws consistently and go up and down with their feelings. Up and down and up. It's fun to them. But it ain't fun to you no more. It ain't even fun no more. You tired of going up and down and up and down and up and down. And you don't know who you is. And somebody else can control you that don't even know you out there in that world can control you because of unhealed stuff that's going on inside of us. That they can do something and trigger us off. That easy. And we can't blame the other person. We the one. We are. This body, this mind, this soul is the screen door for anything. And our will is the key that unlocks the door. Not the devil. Not Diablo. Not Satan. None of that. We got the keys to the kingdom. We the one that have to open the screen door and allow the full blast effects of wrath and rage to take over us. So do it again. 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 Let me tell you something. I can tell you this right here. Out of this world that we live in, the majority of us that's living there, ain't nothing wrong with doing it. Doing it again. Trying to get it right. Because guess what? The majority of us in this world, all have more time than we got money. So we might as well redeem the time, as it says in the Bible in Ephesians. Redeem these times. That means get something out of it. When I redeem a product, I redeem it to get a prize. Redeem these times for change. Redeem these times to make a difference. So those are the 4 steps toward healing from repressed anger. And you might need some help. Find some accountability. Get an accountability partner. Get somebody. Don't get no cupcake brother, and don't get no cupcake sister that's going to pat you on the back. And every time you go around and they say, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You sure right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby, that's right. Yeah, no, you need one that's going to tell you no. You don't grow until you learn how to take no for an answer in some things. Get you a strong brother, one that won't be controlled by your little angry looks. You know how you used to control people with them angry looks? Turn them old lips up, all strong in the forehead, cross-eyed, and you controlling folks. One that can look past all that and say, you know what? When you done with your little antics and stuff, come holler at me. I'll be waiting on you. But the intimidation factor, not buying it. Because guess what? Accountability partner is somebody that's going to be able to feel you. Even the Bible, it says there's a brother born for adversity. That means there is somebody out there that's just like you or been through what you done. And then when you get adverse with them, they know how to handle you. And don't get mad at them because they know how to handle you. And the reason they know how to handle you is because looking at you, well, used to be them. So it wouldn't be no use in them getting mad at themselves when they can see themselves on you. Only thing they seeing you at a point to where they at now, healed. Healed. I'm not looking at you in your sullen state. I'm not looking at you in the state where you just so upset and you throwing little temper tantrums because you want to have your way. I'm not looking at that because they already been there and can count the cost of what they lost from it. And the only thing they can do is hope for you that you see it before it's too late. So, these are the 4 steps to healing repressed anger. Number 1, recognize the cycle. Number 2, intercept with positive self-talk. Number 3, develop a plan, a good plan. And remember, this is a process. It's not an overnight thing. And number 4, do it again. So, I just hope that this teaching may have put some profound effect on you that might maybe want to change. Because that's what the whole concept of this whole thing is about, is change. If you don't want to change, you can cut this off right now. And don't waste your time. But I think there's somebody that's listening to this that know they need to change, that they want to change, and have a heart's desire to change. And guess what? The reason I'm making these videos and making these segments is because I believe that everybody that cuts it on, everybody, all I'm looking at you is as changed. I'm not looking at the state that you in. I'm always looking at you as the state that you're coming out of. So I just leave this question with you. How much do you hate anger? How much do you hate strife and wrath? How much do you hate rage? How much do you hate it? And how bad do you want to change? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Okay, because ain't nobody gonna change for you. But you always have the power to change yourself. As long as you got mental capacity to do it and you're not mentally warped or any kind of mentally health or mental retardation, you can always make a conscious choice to change. So this concludes our 4th segment of this anger management series titled Four Steps Toward Healing Repressed Anger. I hope it blessed you. And you take care. God bless.